Hey there, everybody. Okay, so this is a $712 a day recap, which when I clear 500 bucks a day, I usually call it quits. So this is before taxes, but there are roughly 250 trading days in a year. If I can do $500 a day over the 250 trading days, before taxes, that's 125. After taxes, it's probably closer, taxes and fees and da 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 da. That's probably closer to 60,000 a year, right? So if I can do better than $500, or if I can hit $500, I usually call it a day. Now, this morning, I actually hit $496 pre-market on SYPR. And then I hung around. I love doing this stuff. I love it. And I was about to leave, and I was 5 minutes away from the opening bell, and I was like, okay, well, let me hang out for the opening bell. And then after the opening bell came, I didn't really see any trades, and I was like, okay, well, let me hang out until 10:30. 10:30 is about my maximum, really. Some days I'll stay longer than 10:30. But after it gets past 11, 11:30, I'm sitting here staring at screens and seeing trades that aren't there. My highest rate of success is between 9:30 in the morning and 11 in the morning. So the other trade that I had during regular hours was Upwork, UPWK. And I only traded 100 shares. It's still really light. And I think I'm going to keep things. It's so hard to gauge. I think I'm going to keep things small for a while, maybe through the summer even. We'll see. All right. So, usually I would do like 1,000 shares of this. I'd average into 1,000 shares or so, but I'm just kind of taking stabs at things, and it's working, and it's not as stressful. So, anyway, all right. So, $712 a day. Let's kind of go over the morning's ideas here. And we'll start, small cap. The two small cap ideas I had three small cap ideas, the things I was watching. I didn't put a level down here at 12.15, and as it turns out, that would have been a good trade. The RAAC, I didn't have a high degree of confidence in this stock. It's a SPAC. Usually, when I profit on a SPAC, it's because I've already invested in it at like $10 or $11 per share, and I just wait for it to pop up. So I hadn't gotten into this one yet, and so I wasn't really interested. But it looks like the levels that I put on it, this Fibonacci right here, were decent enough to have taken. Now, why is it not? Okay, here we go. So I put a Fibonacci on it, from the pre-market high to the previous close. And it looks like this 25% level, which actually that's not technically the Fibonacci level, 25. I changed it to 25%, and I've forgotten what the Fibonacci level is down there. It's like maybe 23 something. I can't remember. But anyway, it looks like that would have been a good trade. It took a nice bounce off of this, $12 range areas, kind of $12 area. Certainly after the first. What time is that? In the first 10 minutes of trading, it came down to it, and then took a nice launch up there to 13.21. I mean, that was fast. That was within 2 minutes. It made that move. So it was on watch, but I didn't trade it. And I didn't have alarms set for this Fibonacci level. So anyway, NCTY. Now, this is not a trade anymore. Once it gets down to a level and it doesn't hit the level, it comes close and then moves away, I no longer consider it a trade. My number was off by, 58. The low of this candle was 58.62, and my price was 58.39. They came too close and then moved away, and it's not the same trade after it comes close and moves away. I call that a miss, swing and a miss. It's not a strike, though. It's not. It's a strike is a red trade. So moving on. SYPR did. This is a pre-market trade here. Oh yeah, you know what? In NCTY, I would be trading this in momentum anyway. I wouldn't even be using the. That's funny. So I'm comfortable using Fibonacci's on the SPAC, but not on NCTY. It's too much of a momentum trade to really trust the Fibonacci's. And so if I had traded this, there's a false breakout right here where I probably would have lost money. This once it broke, so it ran up, came down, and then in this candle right here, you can see how it broke the previous 1 minute high, and then came back down again, kind of kept dribbling down. This isn't a nice stock. This isn't a nice momentum trade. And I'm glad I wasn't interested in it. I'm glad I wasn't watching it because that would have gotten me into most likely a losing trade right there. So lucky. Now SYPR. This morning, I was in the office nice and early, and I got in and I saw SYPR popping up. I was like, okay, well, I've missed out on this trade. I'll wait for a pullback, and then the sort of, and what I did is I looked for the support. So there's this first initial candle run up, and then I wouldn't call that a pullback, but a little bit of area of consolidation, a really small area of consolidation right here. And then it moved up again. So I was like, okay, well, I've missed that move, and as of right now, it's too late. I don't know if it's going to keep going up or not. But as of right now, it's too late for me to try and jump in on this thing at, in this candle here at 412 for a move to 453. Not a lot of upside to it right there. So I was like, okay, well, let's see if it pulls back. And I was like, let's see if it pulls back to the top of this breakup candle right here at 367, this run up. Well, it came close. Came close right in here as I was watching it this morning. Went to as low as 369 and started to pull away. I was like, well, okay, so here's the top end of that consolidation zone at 386. And let's see if it can successfully hold 386. So I started averaging into it in the 390s area, and then it crossed back below this 386 into the 370s. And so I averaged in somewhere in this area. I averaged into in this 4 minute time frame. I averaged into 700 shares at an average of $3.89 per share. And so then it ran up, and I was like, okay, well, so what's the next spot of resistance going to be? It's going to be the top of the morning. It's going to be the morning highs so far here at 457. So it came up here to 457, and I was actually still holding on to it through this candle, even after it dipped back below 457. It's when it came back down and started closing closer to 457 where I kind of got the pucker factory or whatever you want to call it. And I think I sold it in this candle. I think I sold it in this candle right here for, let's see, a gain of 71. Let's see, 622 shares, sold it at 71, and 78 sold at 73. I was in an average of 389. So let's see here. 389 plus 71 cents. That comes out to what, $4. We'll call it $4.70. And so in here, somewhere right here, I sold it right at kind of the top of this consolidation area. Now, hindsight being 2020, it continued in moving significantly higher up to pre-market high of 687. So it was a $500 trade. I made $500, or $495 or $496, whatever it is. I could be happy with that, So then I didn't convince myself. It's more, I don't know, routine, I guess. I'm used to just kind of staying here until at least 10:30. you know, and I'm usually done by 11. Like I wrap up, I do, you know, my numbers and everything, and kind of see what's going on. So anyway, large cap movers, you know, Tesla's always on watch. Vodafone, I actually thought that I missed my opportunity. I've had my eye on Vodafone now at this $18 level for a few weeks, couple of weeks at least. Yeah, ever since it popped up. Oh goodness, it's nap time. It's been a hard day's work. It popped up over 1805 over here, and I've been waiting for a pullback to test that gap. Now it's dipping down a little bit below the gap, and there might be a few days down here. I'll have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to start averaging in. I started averaging into Vodafone today. I've got 100 shares at, let's see, over here. VOD. Bought 100 shares at $17.98. And so through the next, let's see how long this was, February 3rd, February 23rd. So 3 weeks roughly, I will be averaging into Vodafone at about an average of 100 shares a day for the next 3 weeks. So about a 2,000 share position on Vodafone, and then let it ride into the next quarter, approximately 3 months. That's my plan. Tesla, I didn't trade today. Tesla is right now at this Fibonacci level on its move. So I have a Fibonacci drawn from the high to this. I'll put it here at this the bottom of the break. I'll put it at the bottom of the breakout there, bottom of the gap. And so there's a Fibonacci level at $713.38 that Tesla is right now kind of wrestling with, whether it wants to go above or below it. I haven't taken a trade on Tesla. I don't really see a trade there. For whatever reason, my level is a little bit off on the dotted line there. But yeah, so you can see here this Fibonacci. And this is the 61.8 Fibonacci, I think. Let's go back here and look. So right now it is testing the 61.8 Fibonacci. It's hitting some resistance there. A lot of traders like the 61.8 Fibonacci. It's considered the golden ratio because it shows up in nature, routinely. So I imagine that I don't see a trade there. So it's something to watch. All right. So let's see. FSR has done okay here. This isn't one. I haven't taken a trade on this one. I have two levels on it, two entries, one at 19 and then the other one at 17.91. I remember looking at this one earlier thinking, in the first few minutes of the open, it really started to move quickly below 19. And I was like, okay, well, I'll wait for, if I get a tone, if I get an alarm on 17.91, then I'll get interested. But right now, 19 doesn't look lucrative to me. Of course, if I'd gotten a 19 here on its way back up over this line, I would have gotten, a move up to 1957. Not a bad move. I probably could have pulled somewhere around 25% or 25 cents, from 19 up to 1960, we'll call it. I probably could have gotten somewhere in the range of 25 cents on that trade, per share. 100 shares, it would only be worth, $25. I probably would have kept risk low again and only traded, I bought 200 shares. So I probably would have been able to make about $50 on the trade, but I wasn't really enthusiastic about trading after a $500 pre-market. So then I was sitting here, and then just a few minutes ago here at 10:13 in the morning, Upwork set off the alarm, and so I bought at $10. I wasn't able to get it right here at the 55.66, And so I bought, was at 100 shares, and I bought it at, I think I was in at $10 or $55, $56.20, I'm pretty sure, is where I got into this thing. Let me make it a little bit larger so it's easier to see. So it hit down here at 55.66, and I didn't have an order programmed in, to fill. I do that only every once in a while from time to time. If I'd been watching closer, I probably would have programmed one in. But anyway, I got in at 56.20, which is about 60 cents higher than the entry that I wanted, that I really would have liked to have taken. But it moved so quickly. Now let's look at the 1 second chart. Let's see what the 1 second chart looks like here. So 55, 56. So let's go back over to where this is the 1 second chart here. So it was at my price level for 2 seconds. I would have had 2 seconds if I were paying closer attention. And then, and there at that level, there were about 3,200 shares traded. And so, I got in, held on to it until, let's see. Okay, and so so I was in at 56.20, and then I held on to it until it hit close to the bottom. You can see here, there's kind of the bottom of this support area right here. And so I sold it right up here, close to 58. So let's see, I got $2.16 per share. Let's just pull up the calculator. I've gotten so lazy with I used to be able to do math in my head, like, incredible feats of mathematics in my head, but now, I've gotten calculator lazy. So plus 217. And so I sold it at 58.37. So 56.20 down here, and then 58.37. So when it ran up past this little kind of resistance line into this, I don't know, I'm calling it murky area right here. It got up into that right here, and I was like, okay, I'll sell. So it went up as high as 58.77, and I sold it down here at 58.37. So just kind of let it go, with some profits, and it's low stress, low risk, pretty easy going. Okay, so now that it's back down at this Fibonacci again, it's not the same trade as when it took this bounce. So this spot right here was where traders were watching. Traders were waiting for a good buy level where they get into a high probability trade, and they took it, like me. And now that it's back down here again, it's not the same trade. You don't get to, oftentimes in the market, you don't get to take 2 bites at the apple. You don't get to take, a second bite at the same trade setup. So for the rest of the day, I don't know what's going to happen. It's after 10:30. The volume really falls off after the first really like 20 or 30 minutes. But then after the first hour, it really falls off. There could be, certainly there could be more upside to the stock. The news here is pretty good news. It beat. That's right. It beat on earnings and revenues, and is offering, or is not offering, but it is reporting forward guidance that's very positive. So this is one to have on watch. I'm going to take all this stuff off for now, and I'll keep an eye on it. There's a gap here. So if I can get down, if it comes down to 51, where the top of this gap is, let's get the magnet going. 51, 57. If it starts to get down into this candle a little bit and then turn around and start moving the other direction again, I will be aggressively buying this stock. All right. Let's see, what is Energizer doing here real quick? It went down a little bit further than I would have liked it to go down. So here's the support resistance line that I've been using for Energizer, and you can see here it went down, and I was right here with it, and so now I'm like, okay, well, let's let's move the line down. So I don't know. I have the bigger picture on Energizer is reversal, head and shoulders reversal. There's the left shoulder, the head, and the left shoulder, and the right shoulder, and then the neckline. So I'd like to see, this could be, I don't know. I'll have to see how it plays out. I've got, as of right now, I've averaged into 300 shares at an average of $45 a share. So down on this trade right now, I'm down 531, but I was long 500 shares at 46 bucks and let go 350 of it at roughly $52 per share. So I've made, let's see. So far on this stock this year, I've only traded it this year, 350, but times 52 minus 46 equals, yeah, I've made pretty good money on it so far. So, and once you make money on a stock, I can get it can create a bias in a trader, and I've got a bias on Energizer. I'm bullish Energizer. It's my bias. I could be wrong. So, another adjustment down on this line right here, if Energizer can't kind of just start to recover and come back up. I mean, after earnings, it reported decent earnings. It is corrected by 20%. So it's real close to a bear market correction. We'll see what it does. Much further down, and I'm gonna have to cut the losses. I'll have capped. If it goes a little bit further down, I'll have turned a $2,100 trade into probably a $1,400 trade, but it's okay. I'll get out. As long as it doesn't gap down overnight. I'll certainly get out at least break even, I imagine. Anyway, all right. So, and then Kern, I started averaging into Kern yesterday. Averaged into 400 shares. I had 100 shares at 585, 575, 565, and 555 for a buy on this candle yesterday, and so it's doing well now. Nomad reports earnings tomorrow. 24th. Today's the 24th, right? Maybe it reports after hours. There's no news. Let's see. So it says 20 hours. Here, I don't know. It's hard to see probably if you're looking at it. There's a number 1 right here that my cursor is over top of, and it says that it reports on the 25th. Now, here it says it reports on the 24th, so I guess it reports earnings tomorrow. And it's taken a little bit of a dip today in the past couple of days, so we'll see how earnings do. India's doing well. I picked up a few shares of India. Qs are starting to recover a little bit after a dip. I've got a few shares at 325. I bought in a little bit early on this one. I bought in on this day right here. bought in on this candle right here. Wheat, corn. Wheat is trying to push past this high over here at 654. So it bumped into it. It might need a few more days. It might need another period of consolidation. We'll see. We'll see what it does. It's inflation. Corn, wheat, and what's the other one that's an inflation play? Have an energy out. Well, India kind of. I think I sold my energy before the last dip, and I haven't gone back to buy any more. Yeah, Kern is turning out to be a nice trade. I'm up a few bucks on that one. All right, everybody. Well, that's the end of my day. Good luck out there, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah. Click like and subscribe and leave a comment. Talk to you later.